All right. Hello, Mike Kako, and good morning. Mahalo for joining us in person and online. I'm Senator Mike Gabbard, and I hope you and your ohana are well. And for those of you who can't remember back that far, I was on the City Council from 2003 to 2005, got elected to the State Senate 2006, where I've been serving representing District 21, which is Kapolei, Makakilo, Kalailoa, Honokaihale, and portions of Fernandez Village, Eva, and Colina. So in FYI, there are 25 Senate districts, for those of you who don't know, in the state of Hawaii. And you take the 1.4 million people roughly who live here, that makes about 56,000 people who live in each of the 25 districts. Also, FYI, our 2026 legislative session begins on January 21st, as it does every year, the third Wednesday of January, and it'll be ending this in 2026 on May 7th. So if you have any ideas for bills that you would like for me to introduce, please send them to me as soon as possible. It doesn't have to be fully fleshed out. It could be just a concept or something that you think would be a benefit to the people of the state of Hawaii. We're about 3 months out from starting our session, so it's a good time to get the bills in early so we can start working on them. And the way it works is that you send me the concept, we'll look at it, we'll send it to the majority office, they'll write it up in the official language of the bill. We'll send it back to you and to see if it's okay with you, and just that's the exchange that takes place. Once we get the final okay from you, then that's what we will introduce, then we'll let you know the rest as far as when the hearings are. Okay, so quick housekeeping. As you know, for those of you who attend these meetings regularly, we start promptly at 9 and finish promptly at 10. If I don't address any of your concerns or issues during the meeting, then please contact the office and we'll do the follow-up with you. In the back is my office manager, Meg Turner, and this is my community liaison, Melanie June. She'll be running the slideshow, and Meg in the back will be running the Zoom portion of the meeting. Restrooms right out this door to the right, just stick to the right and you'll make it down to the cafeteria and you'll see it right there. All right, so we'll just jump right into the meeting. And as a former public private school teacher, also a guidance counselor and a community college administrator, education has been near and dear to my heart for many, many years. So I thought it'd be a good idea to actually get an update on what's happening in our district from the Department of Education. So that's going to be our speaker today, and it's by Zoom. His name is Ken Kakisako from the DOE, and he leads the Policy Innovation Planning and Evaluation Branch. The acronym is PIPE, and he has served in this role for the last 3 years, and previously he taught science at Stevenson Middle School. So Ken's team aligns the DOE policy and works very closely with the legislature. So mahalo for being here, Ken, and for supporting our keiki in schools. I'll turn it over to you.
We'll start off with the Department of Transportation, the updates for the widening of Farrington Highway. And you can check right here on the left, just to get your bearings. You've got the golf course there on the left, then UH West Oahu, then Kualakai Parkway. And then at the very end down there, the green, that's the Queens West Medical Center. So the DOT, they're widening Farrington Highway. They're adding an additional lane in both directions, and they're also upgrading the drainage, the utilities, the sidewalks, bike lanes, lighting signals, and bridges along the way, and there'll be new landscaping as well. Total cost of the project is $145 million. Construction began May 1st this year, and the completion is looking at April 2027. And they've got some lane closures that are planned, but that's not final yet. So the focus will be on getting phase 1 first, which should be completed by March of 2026, so just in a few months. And the crews are currently excavating for drain lines and electrical water utilities. HECO is relocating and installing poles on the site as well. And it gives you that timeline kind of where you can see the different colors, and with phase 5 down there, the last one is the West Mauka in purple up there over on this side. And that's, April of 2027. Okay, and then the next one is also from Department of Transportation. This is the Kapolei Phase 3 interchange. And on this one, the new interchange Phase 3, it's underway between Farrington Highway, H1, and the Harbor Access Road. And the work includes walls, drainage, utilities, new pavement, lighting, guardrails, signs, and markings. The construction started September 2023. Completion date is expected in a couple months, in December. So the estimated cost is $40.4 million. The Farrington eastbound off-ramp to Harbor Access Road is built. It still needs copper wire to power the lights and final striping. The on-ramp to Farrington and H1 eastbound is about 80% complete, and the remaining items include paving, guardrails, lighting, and striping. And then along Kalailoa Boulevard, the crews are widening the sidewalk to add a bike lane and improve pedestrian access and installing guardrails in the cloverleaf and along the boulevard. Okay, next.
Can I ask a question about that last?
Sure.
They just go down the road 100 yards, take that concrete out of the middle of the road. They'll take that left turn into Home Depot and Costco, and be able to allow 20 more cars parking in that turn lane, they'll backing up over the bridge.
Interesting. Send that to me, okay? All right. All right. Hi, Sheila. Good morning. Okay, and then this next slide has to do with Youth Challenge Academy. I just saw your video, Sheila, about your work over there. So good news is we recently received word from Governor Green from his office that $8 million in capital improvement project funding, that's CIP funding, it's been released to begin construction upgrades for the facilities there in Kalailoa, which is just down the road, a few blocks from where we live. And this is a great program for those of you that are not familiar. It started in 1994, and it is a proven voluntary residential program for teens, generally from 16 to 18 years old. And it combines a structured quasi-military environment also with academics, where you can get your GED or your also physical fitness, life skills, job readiness, community service. And there's also a 12-month post-residential mentorship to follow up on how the students do once they graduate from the program. I've made numerous site visits. What? He's back on? Okay, let me finish this section and then we'll try it, yeah. So, yeah, I've been visited there numerous times over the years and talked to some of the cadets, and literally it has saved lives of young folks, boys and girls, have gotten on the wrong track and gotten back on. And yeah, so great program. What? Yeah, I don't think I have the success rate. Yeah, we'll check it out. Yeah. All right, should we try Ken now? Before we go on
Check.
this.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you, Ken. Yay.
All right, sorry.
We're all
So sorry.
breathlessly awaiting for your presentation, Ken. This better
Yeah,
be good.
right. Yeah. Well, good thing should have checked it beforehand. So apologize for that, to restart
No,
my
that's fine.
computer.
That's fine. All right,
Yeah.
Ken.
Hi. So thanks again, and thanks for waiting for me to get back on.
Can everybody hear okay? Okay, good. Go ahead.
Great. Thank you. Again, thanks for inviting us. As Senator had said, my name is Ken Kakesako with the Department of Education, currently serving in the role as director of our policy shop, and where we, again, liaise mostly with the legislature on policy issues, as well as looking at internal alignment and our strategic plan. Just going to start off with some basic information about the department. So we service 258 public schools, and that's 151,946 students. If you include charter schools, that would be an additional 38 schools. So we have 296 schools and 165,347 students. District 21, which is a senator's district, encompasses 11 schools or actually 12 schools in the Leeward, in the Nanakuli Waianae complex area. So that is under complex area superintendent Disa Hage, as well as in the Campbell Kapolei complex area, which is under complex area superintendent Cindy Otsu. Majority of the schools fall under the Nanakuli Waianae complex area, which is 11 schools and 7,878 students. And only one school is in the Leeward, in the Campbell Kapolei complex area with 131 students. Those schools are, if you want to know, it's Lehoku Elementary, Maili Elementary, Makaha Elementary, Nanai Kapono Elementary, Nanakuli Elementary, Nanakuli High and Intermediate, Waianae L, Waianae Inter, Waianae High, Kawai Hona, Oka Nauau Public Charter, Kamaile Academy, and Kapolei Charter as well. And so those are the schools in District 21. As far as general information about our staff, so the department employs 13,708 teachers. And at this point, we've been very good about trying to fill the majority of those vacancies. We have a number of new initiatives that has helped with that, including bringing teachers in from the Philippines on a J1 visa. And so at the moment, we only have 68 vacancies as far as teacher vacancies, which is great. And then as far as teacher salaries, so starting salary for a teacher, if you have no experience, you're starting right off and you are you have your teacher certification, you would be starting at a salary of $53,390. In addition to that, teachers who serve in a special education classroom or in a hard-to-staff location or are in a Hawaiian language immersion program could receive additional salary differentials. And these can stack, which means you can get multiple differentials if you fit that category. So for example, if you're a special education teacher in a hard-to-staff location and you're at a Hawaiian language immersion program, you could potentially receive an additional $26,000. That'd be all three of those different differentials. If you want more information about teacher-related information, I would recommend going to www.teachinhawaii.org. So I'll just pause there real quick. That's just some general information about the department. I don't know if there's any questions before I go speak to maybe one of the newer initiatives in the area.
Any questions so far?
And I am a resident of Kapolei District. With the Mehana that just opened up recently, the extension over there, I know it put a lot of stress on the school that my child attends. And with all these new developments coming up, what is the plan that's being put in place to make sure that it alleviates the congestion in these schools that we already have established?
So just make sure I heard that properly. It's there's a new development opening up in your area, and you're wondering how that is impacting the schools in the area. Is that correct?
Yeah, so there was one that just opened up and it impacted my kids' school. They had to last minute retransition teachers, open up partials that weren't even like room ready to teach these kids.
At Mehana, right?
Yeah, that Mehana, so it congested Ho'okele Elementary. And then with all
Got it.
there's like the northwest corner that's opening, that's being planned right now. There's the other one on the other side of the Kapolei down by Target that's also, in the grounds planning. But in all of this planning, we don't hear schools being open.
Yes. Great question. Thank you for that. And you're hitting on right on the head one of the major concerns we have for the past few years now. We have been going to the legislature, and thank you to Senator Gabbard for your help. But we continue to ask for funding for both new elementaries and a new middle school and high school in the area to deal with the exact issue that you're referencing. So that is something we are continuing to push. We are advocating for. That is one of our top what we call CIP project requests to build new facilities in that area. We are very aware. We've just taken a number of the finance committee members on a tour of the area, and we were surprised at the number of new developments that are coming up. But yes, that is a large concern for us. Ho Kelly is a great principal. Ranky there is a wonderful principal who is always advocating for his community, and he very much is worried about that and is letting us know at the state level. So that is something we are advocating for. We have been asking both Senator Gabbard as well as Senator Aquino, although I know he's no longer going to be there, but as well as other senators in the area for help in moving forward and getting that money we need to build additional facilities.
Okay. One more question, Ken.
Great.
Joe?
Can you hear me? And
Yeah, Ken, he can hear you.
just like to know why heads didn't roll after this $100 million air conditioning tragedy. What was the thinking at the upper levels? The existential shrug should be an acceptable response to losing all this money in this environment? I don't understand it.
Yeah, so that is an unfortunate program. So the air conditioning program was something that I think had all the best of intentions. It was
Ken, can you just give a little background so in case people don't know about it?
Sure. So there was an audit that recently came out that was looking at the school directed air conditioning program that was an initiative under Governor Ige. And at the time, there was a strong push to move towards providing air conditioners quickly to as many schools as possible. One of the big pushes was also to do it in an environmentally friendly way. So the desire was to do PV related, photovoltaic related air conditioners. We have since come to find out that those PV type air conditioners are not as effective or as efficient yet as some of our other types. And so while we did install a number of them, they have been proving to actually have more issues and more problems. And that did lead to some of although they're installed, they're not as effective or they aren't able to be used. They're not working the way they should. Even in our end, and again, many of our schools are not set up to receive these new air conditioners as well, even though there was money being pushed to try and do that. A big thing that was needed is an upgrade of the electrical infrastructure so that they can carry the load for those new air conditioners. And so although well-meaning, I think what we're trying to do now is figure out how best to reapproach that. And again, it was unfortunate. I think there was a lot of good intentions. It may have moved a little quicker than was appropriate.
All right, Ken, why don't you go ahead to your next phase?
Okay. The only big sort of program push I know, well, there's a few. So our superintendent is very much interested in moving towards our career and technical education model. So moving a lot of our high schools towards looking at providing workforce experiences while in high school so that they're workforce ready going out there. That is a large push to provide more mentorship and internship opportunities for our high schoolers as they look towards graduation and a career after school. Another big initiative of superintendents this year is to really look at raising our math scores. So looking at doing innovative practices to help really target our math scores and bring them up in the next few years, as well as focusing on middle level education. So that is an area where we've had a lot of students. Well, that seems to be where we begin to start losing students in middle level, in that transition between elementary, middle, and high. So this superintendent is looking at focusing on middle level education and finding ways to keep students engaged, including more funding and support for after school type activities that will then keep students more engaged and hopefully interested in school moving forward. And then finally, the other initiative that you may have seen recently in the news is the creation of SRO positions. This is in partnership with Honolulu Police Department. They are providing funding for 9 additional officers to serve as liaisons and SROs in the community. Working with them, we identified 3 schools, Kapolei High School,
SROs, Ken?
SRO, Safety Resource Officers, sorry.
Thank you. That's all right.
Yeah, sorry. So they are targeted now for Kaimaki High School, Kapolei High School, and Waianae High School. We have heard from the community the desire to also have Nanakuli High School with an SRO. So that will be the next, this is just a pilot. So those three schools are just going to be piloted to see if the initiative works. And if so, then we would look to expand it. And Nanakuli would be high up on the list to receive an SRO should this program prove successful. Again, these officers are from their respective communities. So the idea is they would be not simply there as law enforcement, but there to build community relationships, to provide positive role models and positive interactions at the schools with students, to both increase security, but also just to raise the level of community engagement within the school as well. So unfortunately, on Oahu, SROs are not ubiquitous, where meanwhile on the neighbor islands, we do have SROs in their respective schools that are funded by the respective counties. So the different counties have funded SROs, and so they do exist on our neighbor island schools, but unfortunately, not on Oahu. So this may be a sign of something moving forward, something different moving forward. But that's all I have at this point, but I'm happy to answer any other questions that you might have.
Okay, thank you, Ken. Bob?
Okay, thank you. Hi, my name's Bob Crappen.
Can you hear okay, Ken?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on the outreach committee for the wall that heals now, and I was just wondering, one of the things I'm gonna work on tomorrow is having schools, inviting schools to send their students for a educational trip to the wall that heals. I'm not sure you're familiar with that, but that's the walls that heals is the wall for the Vietnam War in Washington DC, and they traveled around the country with another wall. So I just wanted to know, is there a list available of all the schools on Oahu, like with contacts, addresses? That would be very helpful to me, because otherwise I'm gonna have to go through and try to find them on the internet.
For
and
sure.
Invite the students to come.
Got it. If you're trying to invite every school on Oahu, I think the best way would be to reach out to our Office of Curriculum and Instructional Design. This sounds like it fits particularly within civics education, which would be Rosanna Fukada, and I can get that contact to Senator Gabbard, but she would be the most appropriate individual, I think, for what it sounds like you're trying to do.
Okay, thank you. We'll just wait and then we'll get the contact and take it from there. Thank you.
And Bob, is the first showing is going to be at UH West Oahu in mid-January. Is there a set date yet? Do you know?
Could you say?
Is there a set date yet in January?
Well, they said they've got the approval now and it's
Right.
coming. So
Okay.
I think it's January 9th. I mean, it's
Yeah.
around, it's like a 4-day period
Yeah,
that they're gonna be at the campus.
right. It'll be the first time on Oahu, by the way, and it's just
It's
Very
$24
powerful,
a day,
yeah,
too. It's over
free and-
$24
yeah,
a day. You
yeah.
can come anytime you want.
all right. Any other questions for Ken? Sheila?
Aloha, thank you for being here. Sheila Medeiros, I represent the neighborhood board here in Kapolei, Makakilo, Wanakaiale. A couple questions I did want to add on to this mom here, and I do understand your concern. And one of the major issues that we have when developers come to the board and pitching the new development, right? My first question is infrastructure. And are these developers working alongside our state DPP when they're planning and giving the okay to build? Because right now, Kapolei High School is the only high school here on this side. They're going to build the northwest corner, which is 900 housing. Then they're also building in Kalaeloa, the 20-minute city. Then you have La Lima, which is by the Commons. So there's all of these developments, all of these students that are now going to be displaced because we have not done the proper due diligence in planning for infrastructure before we build roads, schools, hospitals. That is my major concern when we're granting developers the okay to develop. And I feel for you folks because you're getting the reaction, the result of for planning. The next question is with the SROs. What are your objectives, your metrics to determine whether or not you're going to extend this pilot program and give SROs to other schools? Thank you so much.
Great. So for your first part of the question, great question. I think actually that's something that might be directed more at the city. I mean, that is something we have questions about as well with all these new developments coming up, and they seem to be approved very quickly. What is the process and how are they contacting and letting us know? Because I think oftentimes we, as well as our principals, are looking out and just seeing things pop up and realizing, oh, this is another development. So that would be a great question. We would love to pose towards, Department of Planning at the city. For your second question around the SROs, I apologize. That's actually going to be something that is going to be decided with HPD. So the program is only just beginning. They've trained up the 9 individuals. I am not privy to all the different evaluation tools they'll be using, but I can provide that update once I know that as well. But it is still early in the stages, so I do not know what the exact metrics will be to decide whether or not the program will be expanded further.
Okay. Anyone else? All right.
Meg Turner, Senator's Office Manager. Can you hear me? Okay. A question came in from a constituent about the DOE policy for gender-specific bathrooms. Could you share the policy with us, please?
I wasn't prepared to speak on that. We do have a guidelines, but I don't know that off the top of my head, and I don't want to misquote that. So I can provide you with what our guidelines are, but I don't have that on hand.
If you could get back to us on that, and then we'll share that with the constituent. Thank you, Ken.
For sure.
Thank you. All right. And so, Ken, thank you for your.
Can I ask? Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Who's that?
Can I? This is Mark. Mark, can I
Hey,
ask
Mark.
you a
Yeah,
quick
go right ahead.
question?
Sure.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just wondering about what you said about the job-ready skills. I think sounds like a great initiative. Is that taking advantage of getting more people skilled in the trades rather than, say, high tech? Anyway, the demand seems to be growing more for some of the basic trades rather than other things that AI may eventually take over. Could you expand a little bit on that initiative you were talking about on job-ready skills?
For sure. It's tied to many of our high schools, not all, but many of them have what we call academies that are aligned with certain areas. So there's a whole career technical education pathway. There are a number of them, and usually the schools will have the latitude to choose which pathways fit within their school. For example, what they can provide as far as teachers as well as expertise, and also linking to what community partners they have in the area that can come in and provide those additional lessons or skills as well. So the trades are definitely one of the pathways. There's like an agricultural pathway. There's a number of different pathways that are not necessarily just AI or tech related, from everything from fashion to healthcare to other areas as well. And so the hope is to not only just these academies have existed, but we're really trying to ramp up a chance for students to actually also, as seniors or even juniors, go out to get mentorship or real world experiences in internships at businesses as well. So this is an initiative being spearheaded by Wanel Kanashiro in our office, really looking at, again, our department, looking at increasing the number of those opportunities available.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Ken, thank you very much for your presentation, and then we'll be in touch and let us know if we can help you in any way. Okay.
Great. Thank you all.
All right. Aloha.
Aloha.
Okay, we're going to get back to the community updates on the various projects that are going on. I think we left off number 8. Is that right? We finished Youth Challenge. Yeah. Yeah, right. Okay, so in addition to some more CIP, again, capital improvement project funding, we heard from Governor Green on this project here, and that's about $25.9 million for the improvement of Kalailoa Airport. This is for the improvement of the utility system there. It'll modernize the critical infrastructure, improve reliability, and enhance operations at the airport. And we'll be tracking that. And if you have any questions on how that's going, just contact my office. Next.
Is that who uses that airport?
Everyone. Yeah.
Everyone.
Usually smaller aircraft. Yeah. It's been a, yes. No.
They do have.
They do have some there.
They have.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Private jets too.
Just hope that they'll be mindful about
Yes.
noise and everything.
Yes.
Like yesterday, my husband worked from 3 o'clock to 3 a.m. to 1 p.m. So when he gets home, he likes to take an hour or two nap. And yesterday it was miserable for him because
Yeah.
of all the jets and the
Yeah.
airplane,
Yeah. Yeah.
noise and everything. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, well, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah. Yeah. But on the other hand, Leah, you should let me know about that because I mean, we live a few hundred yards from the airport. And so I get it. Yeah. Yeah. And believe me, we let them know, because sometimes it's, yeah. Well, whoever's flying. Exactly. And that's the main problem. Sometimes even the helicopters are flying just.
I don't want to go off the project.
Yeah.
But since we're talking about noise, I'm just wondering about the adventure park right along on that corner. They seem to do fireworks during or after their luau or something.
Is this the Coral Crater at the corner? Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And there have been times when I hear popping all over. I'm pretty sure they get permits, but I'm just kind of wondering how can they get permits on weeknights or that late at night? Because sometimes I hear the popping after 10 o'clock.
We'll follow up with them and find out, number one, do they have a permit? Number two, what does the permit say in terms of when they can set it off? Okay.
Residential area.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how their permit goes.
Yeah.
If they get permits, but how can they get permits on Thursday nights?
Right.
And even on the weekends when they start popping at 10 o'clock after.
Right.
That's kind of not.
Okay. All right. Yes.
Maybe this question is very for her. Sorry. Few days ago, in the evening, I live in Makakilo. All of a sudden, all these fireworks was going off, and I just figured it was illegals, or maybe it was this event, whatever she's talking about. Because these were the big ones, the colorful one. And from where I live in Makakilo, I was thinking, it's coming from the west side, and it wasn't right in I don't know if it's farther in Makakilo with the one I'm going across the bridge. Anyway, or maybe it's what she just said. Now I'm curious. Maybe it wasn't illegals. Maybe it was that.
Yeah, because their luau doesn't only happen during the weekends. It's like throughout the week. Like
Right.
4 evenings during the week.
Yeah.
It's really loud.
Yeah.
Commercial? Is that a commercial luau?
Yeah. They advertise and everything. This is the first I've heard a complaint about fireworks, so yeah, that would be a surprise to me. You've heard the fireworks here as well.
Still.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, we'll definitely check it out, okay?
When they do the upgrade there on the utilities. I assume they're taking ocean rise into consideration.
I will check. Ocean rights. There it is, yep, yeah. Okay. Slide 9. Skyline, the rail. So most of you saw the recent news on the Skyline's extension from East Kapolei to Middle Street. So it now runs 16 miles. And they had 4 new stations open on October 16th. The Makalapa at Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam, Lelepaua at the airport, Ahua at Lagoon Drive, and Kahawiki at the Kalihi Transit Center. And so what it's doing is helping put major job centers and the airport within reach of West Oahu in about 32 minutes from East Kapolei. I actually went down there on the 16th to try it for myself, and I took it all the way into Middle Street and then took a bus from there to the Capitol. And and it was under an hour. And and to take that one step farther, this last session, I decided just to try it out. And so I actually went every day of session on the train to go into the Capitol. And from East Kapolei, from UH West Oahu, the second station there, and it went to Aloha Stadium, grabbed a bus, the A bus from there to right by the State Library at King Street and the intersection there. And I just had a great experience. And basically, being able to work, read, and take a little nap sometimes and not have to worry about driving on H1 coming in from the west side. Looking over there, and as you're coming around, H2 is feeding in, and then just seeing the cars blocked up for miles and miles, and then getting into town and turning on the news, you're seeing in the paper, oh yes, there was a traffic accident. It took 3 hours to come in from the west side. So plus I have to pay $78 a month for parking at the Capitol, right? So I got one of the little holo cards, and $2 or $3, whatever it was. And then I said, oh, you ought to get the senior annual card. I said, how much is that? $45 for the whole year, unlimited. I said, what? So I got the senior holo card, and had a really good experience. So I'm actually going to encourage my colleagues that especially live on the west side to take advantage of that, of the train. Yeah. I think it's $80 a month for if you're not a senior, but it's $45 a year for the senior card. Who's this? Oh, wrong meeting. Oh. Can roll it out. That's fine. Okay, and then the next slide.
You get those holo cards at any station?
Yes.
You don't have to go to town park?
No. Every station has them, yeah.
I have a question about the parking, because I'm looking into that a little bit now. For the parking, did you have no problem finding a spot?
No problem. I heard after there were some issues because apparently they have some of the stations, they have like a 10-minute limit as far as how long you can park there. And they had cars that were over 24 hours parking there. But they do allow you to park for 24 hours if it's not in a 10-minute zone, 10-minute parking lot. But at least at this station here, it was fine. Yeah.
You cannot get the senior holo card any place because it has your picture on it. So you have to only go, I'm not sure where, but you cannot just get the.
Oh, for the seniors, yeah. Yeah.
I got mine long ago when they were giving out free.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, so a little quick update on the racetrack effort out here. And this is in response to the closing of the Hawaii Raceway Park in 2006 out here in West Oahu. So this June of last year is when the Navy transferred 400 acres to Kalailoa and the city and county of Honolulu to the Department of Parks and Recreation, and for them to draw up the Kalailoa Regional Park Plan. So included in that plan is a 23-acre dirt racetrack planned near Coral Sea Road. And this is with a public-private partnership with the Oahu Motorsports Association. And this is a temporary racetrack while the master plan advances. So vision is focused on safety, youth programs, and reducing illegal street racing, along with potential economic benefits. And right now the work has been paused because Laura Thielen, who's the director of the city's director of Parks and Recreation with the city and county, she's on a 1-month sabbatical. So when she gets back, they'll pick up the activity where they left off, and then we'll share any updates that we have on that with you. Next.
Other question.
Yes.
Are they going to be having a track for physically using a bicycle?
That is still up in the air. That's part of the planning. If you want to weigh in on that, then
No, just that.
yeah.
We had some neighborhood kids build one on a vacant piece of dirt until the owner found out.
Ah, yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll check. Okay, and then on this one here, you may have seen the article in The Voice in the midweek this last week. Proud to share that Hawaii was named the most improved and best state in the nation for how we treat our children in the justice system, according to the Human Rights for Kids 2025 State Ratings Report called A Time for Hope. And this came after we passed 3 major youth justice reform bills that I had the good fortune to introduce this year. And they're all aimed at protecting our keiki and bringing compassion and common sense into our laws. So the first one is SB 694, Act 234, and that helps keep kids out of adult jails and prisons. And before this, you could youth could be held alongside with adults, putting them at serious risk. Now that's prohibited, except for the short temporary situations like transporting them or at intake when they're going in. But even that with transportation, there is strict separation. The second one is SB 691, Act 84. It sets the minimum age of 12 for family court jurisdiction. So very young children, who make mistakes, they don't belong in a courtroom. They need guidance, counseling, and family support. So this change ensures that kids under 12 are connected to services, not prosecution. And the third one was SB 544, Act 122. And this makes Hawaii courts trauma-informed when they're sentencing youth who are tried as adults. So now the judges, they have to consider the young person's age, their background, any trauma before deciding a sentence, because that accountability should be paired with understanding and a chance for that child to grow. So so together these reforms, they move Hawaii from a punishment-first approach to one centered on healing, safety, and hope. And next slide. Okay, Hawaiian Railway Society. My staff and I, we went there on October 17th to visit and talk story with the Hawaiian Railway Society. If you haven't been there, we highly encourage you to go and check it out. It's a volunteer-powered nonprofit that takes care of, on the west side, the last remaining stretch of the historic Oahu Railway and Land Company, which ran its first train on Oahu in 1889 from Honolulu to Aiea. So it's just amazing, some of the trains, some of the relics that they have there, and the great work that these guys are doing. There you go, host birthday party for kids. And, they have restored 6.5 miles of track between Ewa and the Leeward Coast. They keep their vintage locomotives, cars preserved. And so when we were there, we just walked around the yard. We saw restoration being done and heard how their volunteers are keeping the rail history alive for our Keiki and visitors. You know, we live in the second city, all the new stuff that's happening. In my mind, I think it's good to have some historical context as our Keiki and our grandkids grow up and they can see where, you know, what it was like out here before.
Any effort to use the tracks heading towards town?
Towards,
Town?
no, I don't think so. I'll double check, but yeah, just pretty much going out here on this side. Yeah.
It's gonna be difficult when you've got
Yeah.
all that traffic.
Hard to
tracks
compete
are
with the
there.
skyline, right? Yeah, so if you're, they have rides on the weekend, yeah. Please,
I want to say in 2005, I took my whole family there, my young kids at that time. It was great.
It is great. It is.
yeah,
Very informative.
yeah. Okay, and then now we're just gonna have some Q&A, open it up. Let's see. We had some that were submitted, some questions that came in on emails, and we'll start off. I think Vernie and Letitia, you're here. Yeah, great.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So their question was, what's the status and process around VOCA Villages of Kapolei Association, their plan to acquire HHFDC parcels, specifically the northwest corner lot across from Walmart, and the proposed annexation from the Daniel Keakaka State Veterans Home. So we checked with them, and of course, HHFDC, that's the Hawaii Housing Finance and Development Corporation. That's the agency. They're in charge of all the affordable housing in Hawaii. And they also oversee the financing and development of the actual affordable housing units as well. Yeah, thank you. So we heard back from Eric, who says that VOCA will, yeah, we just spoke with him the other day. VOCA is going to annex the corner of that project into its declaration of covenants, conditions, and restrictions after the project is constructed. And so as far as the Veterans Home, they said that VOCA is early in the process. They're first pursuing an assessment benefit agreement. And in terms of annexation would be considered after they work out that agreement.
Annexing for what?
Into the VOCA community, yeah. Part of the Villages of Kapolei community. Yeah, yeah. Second question was, can the city-state survey these palms for coconut rhinoceros beetles? This is at Coelho Street and Farrington Highway, and determine remediation or removal and replanting. What's the point of contact and timeline? And we'll share that with you. We did hear back from Department of, well, it's now called DAB, Department of Ag and Biosecurity. Their CRB response team, they've been actually treating the west side in hotspots since May. So I've already asked them to check this exact corner and advise on the treatment and versus the removal and replanting and their timing. So I'll let you know what I hear back from them. And if you have any photos or anything that you can share with me that I can share with them, that would be very helpful. Yeah. And then also, what insights, next steps can we share with homeowners seeking guidance for HOA disputes, homeowners association disputes, given there's no state ombudsman who will lead, participate, and when will recommendations be available? And that's for Planned Community Association Oversight Task Force. That was a bill that passed into law. It was House Bill 1509. It was Act 189 passed in 2023. So basically what that law does, it sets up a temporary HOA oversight task force at the DCCA to study whether some condo owner protection should also cover HOA members and how to improve dispute resolutions. So the sunset date for that task force was June 30th, a couple months ago. So there is not a HOA ombudsman. So in the meantime, their response was owners can use existing tools in the law HRS 421J. You can request association records, require mediation, petition to remove directors, and you may file consumer complaints with them if needed. And any new enforcement officer added rights would require new legislation. And so I've also reached out to the chair of the Senate Housing Committee, Senator Chang, for his updates and what's being planned for this upcoming session. So I will definitely pass that on to you. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Yes.
I have three questions. One, what are they doing on Fort Barrett Road? They cut off a lane and basically what they do, I want to know. The other one is this big mega lot across from American Savings Bank. Something's come up because construction is going on. Want to know what that is. And third, I'm not sure if this is part of that Kapolei interchange thing you're saying, but the road that goes to Costco, they doing construction over there. And I don't know if they're adding a lane or what. So I want to know what's going on there.
Well, in Fort Barrett, it's just about done. There's just utilities and the stuff that's down by Roosevelt, that's all pretty much finished now. So there's right up here at the corner, I guess, there's still, yeah, yeah. The upgrading, the utilities, just whatever upgrades that need to be done. Yeah. Do you have that, Mel? Are they close to being done on that?
I can check right now.
Yeah, we'll check and get back to you. And then what were the other two? One at,
It's a big lot. It's got all the dust shields around it. Construction is going on, but there's no sign, so I was wondering what that was.
oh,
It's a housing, might be the affordable senior housing that they're building.
American Savings. I'll check on it and get back to you. Yeah. And the third?
And from Aquino, I go and I do that loop and I come back and they seem like they're widening by the bridge and then I don't know if they're adding a lane for the ones coming from Y9 to get off. I was wondering, what are they doing?
So which way do you go to Costco from Makakilo?
From Aquino, you go down, before you cross over, you go right? It's a really sharp right. And then you go down, you get on the freeway, then the Kalailoa exit.
Yeah.
Get that and then circles around, right? You come up and
And then you take a left there at Kapolei Parkway, right?
yeah.
Yeah, at Costco.
Well, what are they doing?
Yeah.
I believe she's talking about the bridge coming from the water park going over it
Yeah.
right before you hit the Kapolei Commons on your right and the Home Depot on your left. They put barriers there. I don't know if they're trying to widen the road or
Yeah.
widen the bridge, but as soon as you come around, I don't even know how the semis and the rigs make that turn. 'Cause it's
Right.
Very narrow.
Yeah, we'll check on that. I think that's connected to the interchange, yeah. So we'll check on all three of those.
Come up from that turn, you got the other side that's supposed to yield and sometimes they don't yield. And so there's been accidents. And then you have the people from Y9 coming on to the road there and you gotta slow down because if you wanna go right, then you gotta make sure there's no one there. So I was wondering what's going on. If they're adding a lane, that would be great.
Yeah. We'll check and get back to you.
That's
Anyone
what I'm
else?
talking about.
Yeah,
That concrete in the middle, that would leave enough room for about 20 cars turning left there.
right,
At Costco.
right. Lita, did you have one?
Yeah, whose jurisdiction is the stoplight at Roosevelt Avenue and the four-way stoplight right at the corner over here? There's a lot of confusion with
At Fort Barrett and Roosevelt down here?
with that PI building. There seems to be, it seems to be programmed really weird because it tells you, the sign says yield
Yield.
to green and the other side is not green. And yesterday I was just driving to the corner and then two pedestrians went to the green light. Of course, they have the right of way, but there is no pedestrian signal or whatnot.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit, a lot of confusion on
Yeah.
that, on that stoplight.
Right.
Cause like if you don't know your ways, if you're new in the area, it says yield to green light, and there's cars running across, and you're waiting for them to move.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to make a left turn.
Yeah.
Not knowing that they're on red.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're on the red.
I'll check with DOT or DTS on that.
Accidents already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something needs to be checked. I'm not sure if it's a state jurisdiction or a city, DOT.
We'll check. Last question and we're out of time. Yeah.
About, you were working on some evacuation emergency route for Makakilo using the.
Oh, yes.
Cement, the quarry. So how's that coming on?
I will report our next meeting. You know, we've been waiting for that one way in, one way out. I mean, that's just been it is. It really is. But at least until that, if it ever does materialize, we can get the funding for it because it involves federal funding as well to have an emergency road out there. And we've got permission. We're waiting to hear back from a couple of signees that are on that now. And so I'll let everybody know through our newsletter when that happens. Okay, as far as progressing to get that thing finished. But we actually went down, I was with Representative Garcia, and we took that road down that emergency road. So it's they've tested it and it can be done. It's just a matter of getting the permission from the people who have the landowners that are there. Okay, time's up. Thank you very much, folks, for coming, and keep in touch, as I said. Oh, I also wanted to add one other thing. If you have not checked out the legislature's website at capital.hawaii.gov, and that's capital with an O, please do so. And that way, I ran into a guy at Costco, and he came up to me and he was just raving about it. He just, man, I couldn't believe it, Senator. I went on there, I typed in the bill number, up popped the bill, all the testimony, how everybody voted, everything is, he said, it's just wonderful. So this guy he said, I look at it every day. So anyway, so if you're, as we work in, bills that you're trying to track, just capital.hawaii.gov. Aloha. Thank you very much. See you guys online. Aloha. Did. Oh. Aloha. Thank you.